Hey everyone, blessings. Sorry, it's a nighttime vlog tonight, so excuse some of the background that you see. I'm trying to just position myself right underneath the light so you can see me. All right, so I wanted to do a video on purchasing property in Africa, okay? Before you buy property in Africa, I would like for you to keep these things in mind, okay? Before we get started, please definitely subscribe, like, share, and comment. I notice a lot of you that are watching my videos are not subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, you will miss out on great upcoming content, okay? Now, as many of you know, I currently live in Rwanda, and if you're interested on how I arrived here, I suggest you check out part 1, which is the video right before this one, that will explain to you and outline the history of my living in Africa for 4 years in Nairobi, and now I am in Rwanda, and how I came to get here, okay? So you can appreciate a little bit more about the history and also my minimalistic lifestyle, okay? Now, a lot of you may not know that I am a licensed attorney, okay? I have been practicing real estate ever since I graduated from law school, so I'm a real estate attorney, all right? In law school, I graduated with a concentration in real estate, and I have been doing it for my entire career. I was introduced to real estate via my father. He's been a real estate agent for over the last 30 years. And in my entire career, I have completed various aspects of real estate law, varying from international law when I was working in Kenya, to foreclosure law in the US, to title deeds, title searches. I've done a lot of different aspects of real estate law. So I'm speaking to you from some experience here, okay? Now, that being said, I would like to share a few pointers that I feel the larger diaspora community should keep in mind when considering relocating to Africa and purchasing property in particular, okay? All right, so number 1, under no circumstances do you buy or purchase property in Africa by sending money to someone else to do it for you, okay? Under no circumstances do you do that. Never send money to anybody to buy property for you in Africa, okay? As you know, many people, unfortunately, within the diaspora community have made this mistake. They have been scammed, they've been lied to, they have lost their money, and you should never send money to anyone. I don't care, even if it's a relative. You don't send money to anyone in Africa to buy property for you. That is just a risky move, okay? First of all, you don't know, it doesn't matter if it's a person, if it's a company, if it's a website, if it's a YouTuber, none of those should you send money to. No one should be trusted when it comes to sending money to buy property, okay? Only you should be here on the continent looking at the property and purchasing property in person yourself, okay? You cannot consider purchasing property in Africa unless you have seen the property with your own eyes, touched, inspected it in person, and done the research for yourself, okay? Viewing pictures or videos online is not sufficient because, as you know, everything can be edited. They can take out things that are there. You don't know what is actually there until you see it in person, okay? Not only that, you must drive around the area, see how things are for yourself, research the comparables in the neighborhood to verify that you're being offered a fair price, okay? So all of these websites, people offering their services to buy property for you before you reach to Africa, do not engage in any of that, because most likely you will lose your money and you're not going to get that money back, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, never ever buy property in Africa without working with multiple professionals, okay? When you think about it, when you're buying property in the US, let's just take the US for example, okay? You're first gonna work with your realtor, which is your buyer's agent, okay? Your buyer's agent then has to communicate with the seller's agent, the seller's realtor, okay? Those are 2 professionals right there. Once the deal is reached, the contract is signed, then you have to involve a title company, okay? The title company has to hold the escrow. They have to research the history of the property. They're looking for liens, judgments, encroachments. They also verify the chain of title to make sure that all the owners in the chain are valid owners. They usually look back 60 years. That's a third professional in there, okay? After title is clear, then if there's an HOA and condo association, then they have to get involved. They have to verify if there's any outstanding dues that need to be paid on the property. They have to give you all the condo bylaws or the HOA bylaws. That's a fourth professional, okay? And then once everything is now clear and we're moving towards settlement, a lawyer has to be involved, or a settlement agent that is doing the closing for you, okay? They bring the paperwork from the bank. They help you sign all the paperwork. So this is the fifth professional that you'll be dealing with in the US. So there are multiple professionals that are involved in a single real estate transaction in the US. So I don't know why people think that they can come to Africa or even before they get here and not work with professionals. This is not recommended at all, okay? You must work with professionals. You cannot buy property here if you're not working with the necessary professionals who are there, by the way, to protect you. They're protecting your interest, okay? People who want to buy property through a website, that is setting yourself up for a scam. You'll definitely lose your money. Before I moved to Rwanda, I contacted a developer, just to give you an example. And, we were in discussions back and forth. I was interested in their development. And they were trying to pressure me to put a down payment to reserve the unit that I was interested in. And I was like, no, I'm still in the US, I'm not in Africa, so I need to come to Africa to view the neighborhood, to view the area, to view how far you are in the progress with the development, all of that I need to see in person. But literally, they were pressuring me to make this down payment. And even in those circumstances, you do not make any down payments, you don't send any money to anybody until you have arrived on the continent, in the country where you're planning to buy, and you have viewed the property yourself, okay? Africa, you have to realize, is a totally different continent, okay? Not only is it a totally different continent from the West, each country in Africa is distinctly different and unique, okay? Each country has their own laws, their regulations. Even me, I'm a lawyer and I'm a trained real estate lawyer with lots of experience, and I dare not even assume that I don't need professionals when I purchase my studio here. As many of you may know, currently I am in my studio that I purchased, and I involved multiple professionals in this deal, okay? I hired an attorney because even though I'm an attorney, I don't know the local laws and regulations. So yes, I hired an attorney, I hired a realtor, I talked to more than one realtor. You have to work with the professionals that are in the field so that you become more aware of, first of all, the local customs, the laws, and all of that. But especially if you are in markets that are unregulated, okay? For example, there are several countries in Africa where land, real property, or real estate in general is unregulated, okay? So that means that if you want to buy a plot of land, you may have to get permission from the chief, or you may have to get permission from several different individuals before you actually legally own the land, okay? So you have to work with people that can explain the local customs and laws to you before you just jump in. Someone says, oh, I have a plot of land, this is the price, would you like to buy it? No, you need to verify if that person is the actual owner of the land, if they are if they're able to actually sell, because a lot of sellers, they are selling the same plot of land to maybe 10 buyers, right? All the 10 buyers are buying the same plot of land. They're just getting rich and they're running off with their money. And now there's a legal dispute between 10 people that are innocent purchasers over this plot of land that they were scammed over, okay? So no, you need professionals to guide you through, multiple professionals. That is my recommendations, okay? If you're in an unregulated market, you may need to check with 2 to 3 people to confirm who actually owns the land, okay? So if someone says, oh, I own the land, and they may say, okay, well, you can check with this attorney and he can verify. You don't know, maybe that attorney is working with the seller. You need to hire your own professionals. Never take any recommendations from the seller because they are working in their own interest, okay? So your attorney should never be working for the seller, should never be recommended by the seller. Neither should your realtor be working for the seller or the developer. You need to have your own professionals that are only working for your interest only, okay? Because there would be a conflict of interest if they're working on both sides, and that means that they would not be truly working in your interest only, okay? Since I've been here, I've talked to more than one realtor, and this is how you get to learn more about the market standards, and to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of, okay? For example, I have been researching some investment properties, and one seller, I had a meeting with him, and he told me, oh, for the property management fee, we will charge the owner 40%, and so I would have to give him 40% every month of the rental income, and I would keep 60%. So immediately when he said that, I was like, well, how did you arrive at 40%? Because I know, based on my conversations that I've had with other sellers, that the market standard is 10% for property management. And on top of that, the market standard for America for property management is 8%. And obviously we're not in America, but he's marketing mainly to foreigners. So I wanted to not only show that I knew the market standard for Rwanda is 10%, but also in the West, it's 8%. And as soon as I said that, immediately he was like, okay, well, we can do 8%. So immediately from 40% to 8%, it dropped. And had I not known this information, let's say I wanted to proceed with buying this property, he would have gotten away with 40% of the rental income. And that is absolutely ridiculous. And you have to talk with more people. You have to network. You have to meet professionals to kind of understand what is the market standard so that no one pulls the wool over your eyes. I can tell you right now, I'm sure there are going to be more buyers at this development that are going to take the 40% because they don't know anything else, and the seller is just going to get rich and he's going to keep that extra percentage that he doesn't deserve because the market standard is only 10%, right? So those are just some examples to keep in mind. In your contract, your lawyer should ensure there are clauses in there that protect you as the buyer. If there's a breach of contract, if there's a failure to comply, anything that is not within the guidelines of the contract, there should be terms and conditions in there that are specific to protect you, okay? When I signed my contract, when I looked at it, they sent it over to me, even though I'm not familiar with the laws here, I already knew everything in the contract was not skewed in my favor. So I contacted my lawyer. I said, listen, we need to go over this contract paragraph by paragraph, and we need to amend as necessary so that it is an equal footing. It should not be only in favor of one party or the other. It should be something that's fair to both parties, and both parties should agree to it. So that's exactly what we did. We went over the contract paragraph by paragraph. We amended. We had to go back and forth a few times with the seller until both of us reached an agreement that was fair to both of us. But never accept anything that's just presented to you. That contract, had I signed what they sent me originally, I would have had nothing that protected me, no rights at all. So you have to make sure that you're working with someone that is looking out for your best interests. That is very important. And the last point I'll just mention here quickly is research, okay? Even though you're going to be working with multiple professionals, hopefully if you take my recommendation, you'll be doing that, you still need to complete thorough research on your own, okay? You need to research pricing online. You need to research the neighborhood, the developer, if you're buying a new construction. You can do a lot of research on your own, okay? Once you hit the ground in Africa, you need to drive around the neighborhood to see if it's actually an area that's attractive to buy in. You need to understand the amenities, meaning, is there a grocery store that's close by? Is there a gym that's close by? What is in the area that is conducive for you either living there, or if it's an investment property, for the tenant to live there, right? If you don't do research, you will just accept everything that is told to you. And as I just explained in my last example, if I hadn't done my research, I would have accepted the 40%, and I would have lost out on the extra 30% that should be coming to me every month, because I should only be paying 10%, right? So the research is very crucial. It's important. Before I moved here, if you watch my previous videos, I was online for at least a year just researching. I looked up all sorts of information. I was considering Kenya. I was considering Rwanda. I was also looking in Ghana. So I spent a lot of time researching just to understand what is customary, what is not for the different areas. That helped me make my decision to narrow it down to Rwanda. So yeah, you have to, this is only for your benefit. Never rush into anything. If someone says, oh, you need to make a decision quickly, we need to know within 24 hours, 48 hours. Listen, what is for you will be for you, okay? Never let anyone rush you into anything. Research is key. Research paired with working with multiple professionals is the key if you want to buy real estate here, okay? So I just wanted to make this video short and quick. So I'm just gonna review the points here, okay? So first, never send anyone money. I don't care who it is, okay? You should never send anybody money. Money should remain with you only, and you only pay for something after you have come to see it in person on the continent. You have worked with multiple professionals, you have done the research yourself, and you are confident in your purchase, okay? Never do anything outside of those steps, okay? This is something that is for your protection, and I hope that you learned something from this, and I will be doing more videos just on my experience in general as I move along. I hope that you found this helpful. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.